This year has proven that Trump is willing. In fact, he almost seems to enjoy destroying norms and killing sacred cows, or at least threatening to kill them. And there is no more sacred cow in Washington than NATO. Article 5, the collective defense part of NATO's treaty, is a shibboleth. Today, European leaders addressed each other in mutual pearl-clutching and hand-wringing about how NATO might change. It could go away. And they should be scared. They are the elite of the elite gathered at the World Economic Forum. The eliteness, wealth, success, and safety is because of NATO. More precisely, it has a lot to do, perhaps entirely to do, with the United States of America. Trump's promise of America first can mean a lot of things. At its most basic, it appears to mean that, as the president would say, America for free is over. If we are going to protect you, the president thinks that we as America should get something in return. And what he wants in return right now is Greenland.
I've done more for NATO than anybody, and I see all this stuff, but NATO has to treat us fairly, too. The big fear I have with NATO is we spend tremendous amounts of money with NATO, and I know we'll come to their rescue, but I just really do question whether or not they'll come to ours.
The question is less about if NATO would help us, it's if they can, to put it bluntly. The Western Europeans specifically have a feckless military. They hate Trump because he refuses to let them freeload and calls them out on this. Here is a Danish member of the European Parliament today.
Let me put this in words you might understand. Mr. President, off.
Denmark has 44 tanks. 44. That's not one division with 44, that's 44 tanks. And the Danes don't have any submarines in active service. Submarines would be needed to defend Greenland. For perspective, America has 4,600 tanks and 71 submarines. And then there is France, whose president views himself as the protector of elite intellectualism in Europe.
We do believe that we need more growth, we need more stability in this world, but we do prefer respect to bullies.
The aviators really does it. Talk about room for growth. France has 96 pieces of artillery. The U.S. has nearly 1,900. The French wouldn't last one day against Putin's army, kind of like they didn't last long against Nazi Germany's army. Strength, stability, growth, all of the things that Macron loves, well, that comes from America. And then there are the Canadians.
We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons.
Canada has 0 multiple launch rocket systems. None. The United States has 641. For as big as the Europeans talk, they are living in a fantasy world. It's important to say, yes, NATO is critically important. Yes, NATO brought about the greatest peace and economic development the world has ever seen. And then Western Europe didn't live up to their end of the bargain. They freeloaded. Europe needs the United States to defend them against almost everyone and everything. Yet, they are lecturing us at every turn about the importance of NATO while doing little, if anything, to fulfill its mission.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.